Very good afternoon, everyone. In the today's class of non-destructive evolution, we'll be seeing the different types of methods that we'll be utilizing for the inspecting of materials and identifying its mechanical properties. In the manufacturing units, for instance, if you have been considered the casting processes, whether the solidification process has been considered in a perfect way or not, if there is any pores or voids that has been created in the solidification process, both in two categories, that is normal way of cooling process and quenching process. Is there any surface defects or cracks or any pores that has been identified at the internal bondings will be getting detected by these non-destructive techniques. The name itself it is clearly specifying that non-destructive. Let's have a clear-cut view regarding these two segments, that is destructive testing and another one it is non-destructive testing. Coming to the point of destructive type of testing, we'll be having a detailed look initially towards the destructive testing. Yeah, here it is. Destructive type of testing. Here, the specimen will be getting deteriorated or it will be getting completely deformed into the plasticity range of geometrical specifications. First one is destructive. So, the tool will be very much contact, that is direct contact with respect to the workpiece which we need to measure. The best example for this destructive type of testing is in our MOS lab, strength of materials lab, the dynamic testing process is existing for us. So there are two different methodologies in the dynamic testing process. One it is Charpy test and another one it is an ISO test. We utilize the pendulum by placing the pendulum at two different inclinations based on the ISO test and the Charpy test. Those two tests In those two tests, the pendulum will be released with an force and that will be getting striken the specimen directly, and specimen gets to deteriorated or deformed into plasticity range of dimensions, and that particular specimen will not be utilized furtherly. Correspondingly to the striken force of the pendulum, the corresponding values of strength or to which force it has been existed or resisted according to the particular material we have been taken, whether it may be of the specimen may be of cast iron or mild steel or else the stainless steel or else the diamond shaped of material, etc. So those materials, upon striking with respect to a high force dynamically, there is nothing but the maximum pressure that is being falling on the material. So here the stiffness will be identified, the maximum tensile strength will be identified. Based upon that, the values of the materials properties can be identified. Coming to the point of this non-destructive testing, here in the non-destructive testing, the specimen will not be in contact with respect to the testing inputs. So here testing inputs varies with respect to the techniques. Will be, for instance, if we have been seeing the radiographic testing processes, the X-rays, gamma rays. X-rays is the best example we can consider here. that in the medical agitation also will be looking in our daily life. Even in the x-rays, the rays will be getting fall on the our body, and internally how our lungs are getting behaved, or else what the our skeleton structure and internal functioning of our body will be identified or captured, and the film can be developed based upon that x-rays. So here x-rays will not be directly in contact with respect to the body of the object, but internally what is going to be happened, or internally what is the present structure, that will be clearly visualized in the form of a film, or else in the form of a testimonial that will be getting displayed on the monitor screen. So that is the best, one of the best example in the case of radiographic testing process. So here we can say that the capability of these non-destructive testings are nothing but, in some testing methodologies, the, the input strategies of these testing methodologies will have the capability of passing through the medium, either in any of the state of the object, that is either it may be of the liquid state, or else the solid state, or else the gaseous formats. Secondary, it is non-destructive testing. Here the specimen will react based upon the given inputs and generates the entire geometrical specifications, nothing but its three-dimensional axis, that is length, breadth, and depth. Coming to the its surface finishing, layer by layer, it will be clearly examined as if our slice oriented has been taken. And internal geometrical specifications also learned very clearly. Coming to the advantages or and limitations of destructive type of testing, it will be having the direct measurements, which manually we will be visualizing this, and quantitatively how to measure the entire these measurements which has been obtained in the case of destructive testing. Coming to the disadvantages of it, it cannot be tested in service structures. That is only in the case of simulation activities these tests will be getting performed, and even the input materials or raw materials or specimen materials cost will be very much high, and the time consuming for the testing process is also takes very large time period, and multiple tests are required indeed to obtain the standard results by varying the type of machineries and its ranges. So these are the some of the advantages and the limitations of destructive type of testings. Coming to the point of this non-destructive type of testings, we are having a greater advantages that it can test in service structures, nothing but even in the processing timings also, the working environment also, the inspection process will be getting done, and the required shapes based upon the given input parameters will be achieved directly. Due to this, the time will be very much flexible for us. Number of objects, nothing but the quantity will be maintained. Similarly, the quality also will be obtained. It can evaluate the surface and the internal conditions. So here, the internal conditions specifies that the voids or cracks that has been happened while the solidification process has been taken place. But here, it is an cost efficient, I think, but the input cost will be very much high. Coming to the point of these limitations, it's a good reliability. That is, measurements are made indirectly, nothing but just example x-rays we have been taken. That x-rays will be passing through the medium, and that reflection will be falls on the film. So directly it will not be getting happen. So in the case of destructive, if you have been observed, it will be striking the object immediately. The corresponding scale notations will identify the perfect values in the analog display. But here both the considerations of displays is accepted. That is, either the pictorial representation in the films, or else the monitoring on the oscilloscope, or else in any of the LCDs or LED displays. There is a greater disadvantage because it is an indirectly visualizing the results. And coming to the point of this quality, coming to the point of this quality, it will be ranging in between the standard results. There is nothing but there will be a range of the values. If you have been considered in our blood reports also, if you have been gone to any of the laboratory, if you have given our blood for the testing, and you need to identify that RBC count and WBC count and hemoglobin count, etc., will be displayed on that. In that, clearly it will be specified in the report that in between this 130 to 150, the blood levels need to be maintained. Vice versa, the corresponding obtained numerical value will be specified. And we need to verify that the obtained value is in between the minimum to maximum level in the reference journal or not. So, hence, the quality will be limiting to a particular value, or it will be ranging in between the two values, that is from the minimum value to the maximum value. And next one, indeed, to commence the tasks on this non-destructive type of testing, the skillful worker is necessary for us, because the operating parameters should not be varied simultaneously. That is, frequently it should not be varied. And even indeed to monitor that, or to done any of the internal maintenance activity also, the skillful worker is necessary. As far as this destructive test has been considered, if the process has been known to the worker, he alone can perform the task. But in the case of this non-destructive testing, the task that has been made will be processed by only the skillful worker. So there's the basic difference between these two methodologies, that is a destructive type and non-destructive type. By these points, we can define this non-destructive testing in the following. That is, the use of non-invasive techniques to determine the integrity of the material or the component or structure, or quantitatively measure some characteristics of an object. So if you have been inspected this particular material which has displayed on the pictorial picture representation, the rays or radiations that are being passing on that particular object, and it is being diffracted in a particular opaque to a particular range, and inspecting the entire object, that how slightly or internally the changes are being taken place. That is nothing but inspection or measuring without doing any harm with respect to this material. Yes, coming to this point of without doing harm, we have been observed already that in the destructive type of testing process, the specimen will deteriorates or changes its dimensions completely into the plasticity of range. But coming to this NDT, there will not be any changes even the inspection has been done. So here, if you have been seen that the rays are being falling on the object, the internal structure of the object is clearly observed, verified, and the surface finishing is verified, the internal bonding has been verified, that the casting process is done in a correct way or not, that has been verified, and these many properties has been verified here, even though the specimen will not be getting deteriorated from its dimensions. So as it is, the specimen will be in standard mode. Even if the experiment that is being shown in here is, let us consider that X-rays. Even the similar material, after completing these X-rays also, it can be processed through any of the ultrasonic sound test or magnetic particle phasing test. Those kinds of tests also can be processed on the similar kind of materials. So this is the advantage in the NDT, that is non-destructive testing process. Whether this cannot be done in the case of destructive type of testing process, because the specimen will change its dimensions to a plasticity range and will not be getting retained back. There is a greater disadvantage in the case of this destructive type of testing. But in the non-destructive type of testing, that will be getting overcome, right? And here we'll be having a clear-cut view that uh, what are the uses of these NDE methods. So what are the type of detections can be observed by following these non-destructive methods. So first one, flaw detection or evolution. So flaw detection, we have been already verified that flaw or cracks, either it may be of internally or externally. Here in the pictorial representation, it clearly shows that there is a flaw in the surface of this particular spanner, and even the leak detections. If there is any tap or couplings that has been commenced in between the two pipes, whether the gasket has been got defected, at that particular time a small leakages will be getting taken place. So those also will be getting detected by utilizing this NDE techniques. The location determination, particular locations also will be getting determined by utilizing this NDE techniques. Nothing but will give the sensor feedback to the controller by the utilization of these transducers that can convert or transform the one form of signals to the another form. Based upon that, the locations tracings also will be getting done, and even the dimensional measurements. Next one, the structure and microstructure characterizations. So here, structure and microstructures. In our material science and metallurgy subject, we had a clear-cut details regarding the structures and its microstructures. Whether it is each and every type of material is having different types of structures based upon our laws. 14 different structures that are being existed, that has been clearly specified by our Bravis uniform structures, face-centered cubic structures, hexagonal closely packed structure, body-centered cubic structure, monoclinic structure, triclinic structure, and in that hexagonal closely packed structure variations, and these are all the different structures depending upon different kinds of materials, whether it may be of cast iron, mild steel, stainless steel, graphite material, asbestos fiber materials, or else the diamond shaped of materials. So depending upon each and every type of material, the microstructure will be getting varied. So what type of bonding that has been taken place between the each and every molecule, based upon that corresponding characteristics related to the microstructure formation plays a major role, and those also will be identified by our NDE techniques. So based upon this, the type of bonding that has been taken will be clearly visualized. Only at that pointal range the bonding can be altered. If there is an covalent bonding existing over there, that can be transformed to the ionic range, and due to that the strength of the particular object will be increasing. Next thing, the estimation of mechanical and physical properties. So mechanical properties, nothing but the strength, stiffness, ductility, malleability, tensile strength, strength that has been produced, whether it is obtaining the Husserl concept or not, Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio. This is all of the mechanical properties that will be clearly identified by this NDE methods. And even some of the physical properties. Physical properties, nothing but fitness and its circumferential finishings, whether it has been holding in an tightful situation or not, nothing but fitness, strength, and its velocity will be clearly observed in the case of these physical properties. And stress or strain, and its dynamic response measurements. So, stress will be clearly known to us, that is, applying of a force on the particular object. Due to that, the particular operand is being changing its position or not. So straining, changing in its dimensions to original dimensions. Whether it is being changing or not, that can be identified very much flexibly. And material sorting and chemical composition determination. So material sorting, so sorting of the material in some layer by layer, or else asing with respect to one material to another material, and the chemical determination. So chemical composition. Here, in the case of this mixing of the materials, clearly we will be calling this as an alloy elements. So based upon this chemical compositions, the reactions will be getting taken place, and due to that reactions, what are the finite output that we are being getting, and what is the chemical structure that is being getting, and when one chemical to another chemical has been mixed up, whether it is being obtaining in semi-solid state, or else completely solid state, or else completely the liquid state, the phase transformation, how it is being changing, and corresponding cooling curves regarding this will be clearly specified in the case of this NDE methods. Because in the case of these chemicals, we'll be having two different kinds. First one is an basic basic chemicals, and second one is an acidic type of chemicals. So when this acidic type of chemicals has got reacted physically, it cannot be get detected. So if you have been physically utilizing some of the fun tools to observe the reactions that has been considered over there, it will be some of the hazardous situation. So in for that particular situation, the non-destructive testing plays a major important role. It clearly observe the towards the microstructure range, and even if powerful or standardized non-destructive technologies has been utilized, or advanced technologies has been utilized, the nanostructures also can be verified very much clearly. So coming to the next point is, when are these NDE methods are used? The application of these NDE methods are almost in any of the stage it can be utilized. That is at the raw material stage, or input material of the stage, or processing zones, and even after fitting, the inspecting whether the fitting has been considered in a perfect alignment or not will be getting verified in the case of assembly sections, and in the case of these packing sections, whether the quality has been maintained in a correct way or not, it will be verified. and quantity related to the quantity, whether it is satisfying the particular quantity, that also can be verified. And in the transportation range it will be utilized, and the counters and the timing basis also, this non-destructive evolution plays a major role. Coming to the existence of the cyclic variations in the product development, the new product development will be utilized to the screen or sort incoming materials, that is input materials to the or loading conditions to the machinery, to monitor or improve the control manufacturing processes, either of the processes. If those conditions has been cleared, then only the assembly will be in a perfect situation. So whether that inspection clearly observing the assembly conditions were fit, different kinds of parts has been fit in a perfect way or not, will be getting verified here. And to verify the proper processing such as heat treatment, so here heat treatment, so we have already learned this, what is meant by heat treatment. Increasing of the strength to a particular object is nothing but the heat treatment. This involves different steps, that is annealing, micro hardening, ring, and even different treatment processes related to the annealing techniques, normalizing, annealing, referring. These are some of the techniques related to increasing of the strength to particular objects. So how this strength is being increasing by the application of these heat treatments plays a major role. That will be clearly observed here. And verifying of proper assembly, just we have been seen, to inspect for in-service damage. So if there is any maintenance that is required, and what is the service aspect that has been required, if there is any part replacement, whether it is being done in a perfect way or not, it is also will be clearly identifying what is that inspected part, and after replacement of that inspected part, whether the condition of the entire equipment is in perfect way or not also will be getting verified. So we have been already discussed related to the destructive and non-destructive type of testings. So we'll be having a detailed look related to the non-destructive techniques, how many types of techniques that we are having. So commonly we can address with respect to six major non-destructive testing methods. First one is, if the specimens and the operating conditions can be performed in a normal atmospheric range of temperature or normal manual resistible temperatures, then it can be progressed in the case of visual methods. Next one, visual inspection. So visual inspection in the sense, by looking with our naked eye, we'll be examining the entire results. Second one, liquid penetrant test. By utilizing the acidic solutions or basic solutions on the particular object which is need to be verified, the applying of these lappening process will be getting done on the material, and based upon the solutions reaction with respect to the material will be clearly examining the surface finishing or else flaws detection, cracks identification, pores formation, etc. will be getting displayed with respect to changing in color in the case of this liquid penetrant testing process. So depending upon the type of material, we'll be utilizing the acidic solutions or basic solutions. Next one, the magnetic type of testing process. Here, in the case of this magnetic testing, we are having two different processes. First process it is magnetizing the specimen which need to be observed and applying the magnetic properties on it and examining the results. That's the first technique. Second one, the examined specimen examining specimen will be kept as an ideal, and the properties will be observed on that particular specimen by altering the magnetic properties by imparting externally on that particular specimen. There is a magnetic testing second part. Coming to the echo test or ultrasonic testing. By utilizing the sound waves and its reflections will be getting captured where the internal voids has been commenced or internal pores has been verified and internal structural deviations has been obtained. Coming to the point of this eddy current testing processes. In the case of these eddy current testing processes, with the different types of deviations that has been identified will be clearly observed. That is, altering with respect to the voltages, the negative EMF will be getting produced. Depending upon that EMF, the voltage fluctuations will be getting taken place. So, any one of the source applying of the voltage and negative voltage which has been developed here will cause the additional EMF generation in the specimens that will highlight the cracks that has been identified over there. And simultaneously, in the case of this magnetic testing also, if there is any cracks that has been identified, at that particular crack, the polarities of the magnetic properties will be changing. So we are having the universal formula that like poles will repel each other, unlike poles will attract each other. Here, if the bonding of the material is very much confined or else it is perfect, then there will not be having any kind of altering the magnetic properties, or else the properties will be getting deferred only at the cracking conditions. That we will be having a detailed look in the next slide. The X-rays or radiographic testing process. X-rays, gamma rays, and Y rays can be seen. Coming to the point of this visual inspection. In the case of this visual inspection, Mozilla is the basic source by utilizing these periscopes or fiberscopes, baroscopes, and by utilizing these different types of magnifying glasses or mirrors. We will be saying that 100x or 200x, 300x up to the 600x, 1200x is the maximum magnifying lens that we have been utilized indeed to find the microstructure of the different materials in our MMS lab also. In our MMS lab also. The portable video inspection unit with the zoom allows inspection of large tanks and vessels, routes and sewer lines. So by this capturing concept, the display will be giving the perfect results with the help of the internal connectivity, that is bus interface unit connectivity from the inspecting zone to the visualizing zone. It's best placed in many of the our light areas, tight areas, very much tight areas or hazardous situations, and in the pipelines to inspect the pressure variations or any leaks that are being considered in the reactors, whether the temperature is maintaining in a perfect way or is there any deviation of the temperature, air ducts, the air gaps or pores has been taken at that particular place or not, etc. can be identified with respect to the visual inspection. Coming to the point of this liquid penetrant test. Yes, here it is clearly showing that liquid penetrant test. See, the liquid is or acidic or basic source that is being applied on that particular part. This is the specimen, the type of acidic or basic solution depending upon the type of material that is being applying on this, and this material is mixed with respect to the another material, nothing but if it is the chemical, and when this has been reacted with respect to the water, if any cracks have been identified, the color orientation will be getting changed. That is the first synonym. And cracks will be identified as follows. And that will be displayed here. And rest of the part, if there is no any of the cracks or any of the flaws, and will not be getting detectable. Only at that particular area, the color will be getting changed. Color orientation will be getting changed. There is a greater defect. For instance, see this particular material, entire the metal is in pink color. When the solution has been applied for all the material throughout the material, or else the entire this material is dipped into the solution and taken out again. At that particular time, where there are the defects, hence the entered liquid or lappening of the penetrant is getting reacted with respect to the internal walls of the materials, and the colors will be getting changed. The reaction is clearly identified here, that is white oriented, and rest of the part is being existing in the similar color, original color will be same, right? This is the case of this liquid penetrant test. This is the process of the liquid penetrant test: cleaning of the surface, and this is the application of solution, applying of the liquid, removing of the excess penetrant. In such a way, the color will be getting existed, and the flaw will be clearly verified. And these defects is not at all visible to our naked eye, and hence we are being utilizing this liquid penetrant test. Once again, we'll be referring to the liquid penetrant test process. This is the material. Initially, we are cleaning the surface, indeed to detect the surface cracks or small voids that has been taken place. Coming to our surface defects identification, applying of the laminate or penetrant, liquid penetrant, and next again washing out or removing the excess penetrant, and rest of the areas doesn't have any of the flaws or any of the obstructions. So where there is a flaws, the material is inserting over there and getting reacted, and the color oriented will be getting displayed out. So applying the developer to it and inspecting the entire object in the microscopic level for the entire results. The post cleaning has been getting done. Simultaneously, we'll be having a clear cut results towards it. There are an A2 visual inspection also in the case of this dye penetrants. So dye penetrants, they will be having the constant or fixed dimensional accuracies. It will only find the surface defects, nothing more than that. Internally cannot be identified any of the conditions, as we have been discussed previously. In the casting process, if there is any air bubbles that has been struck in the solidification process, that will be getting identified, and this is not all, this and all or will not be getting happen. So in the case of this penetrant testing processes, we have been seeing these dye penetrants. This is the specimen, and applying the color penetrants. There is dye in the sense different types of colors. So dyes different color orientation dyes will be getting acquired here, and based upon that the inspection will be taking place. Here it's clearly showing that different types, there is red color and fluorescent and displays. So what has been, what are the different types of cautions are existing? There is oil based and water washable. So oil based will be having the smooth fragrance, smooth visualness towards this, and the dusty will not be getting stuck at that particular place. Water washable is also change. It can be changeable or else cannot be changeable. So let's have our live example also. Nail polish is one of the best example, and even a remover also will be existing in the liquid phase. When it has been got into the dry section, if the remover has been applied with respect to the cotton and we have been swiped off, entire the nail polish that has been already furnished on our nail will be getting removed completely and coming back to our original natural phenomena. That is a one of the best example of dye penetrant. And based upon this dye penetrant, when you have been applied these dyes and identifying the overall surface finishing, if there is any uneven cracks that has been observed, that will be getting elevated in this particular test. So entire the dye penetrant test locates a minute surface crack and porosity, color contrast dye, and fluorescent dye. There are two different types of dyes, which shows the under ordinary light and shows up under black light. The dye is normally applied by spraying it and directly on the weld conditions. So if the butt welding type of joints or the lamellar type of joints, different types of joints has been considered towards this, and if there is any porosity is happening excessively will be identified, and that can be rectified to a perfect dimensional changes. Coming to this magnetic particle inspection process. Here, entire the object is magnetized initially, as we have been specified earlier that wherever the crack is being existing, there the polarities will be getting changed. Here we are having a detailed look. If the entire object is in a similar manner, similar bonding to one atomic particle to another atomic particle, then the bonding will be very much high and there will not be any deviations or deteriorations that has been considered over there. Here we have been seeing this particular object is in south pole, this is the north pole, and the magnetic field has been getting done from the south pole to north pole towards the north pole from the south pole. If there is any cracks identified over here at that particular range, the polarities will be getting occurred, and even the magnetic field will be getting varied with respect to the original flow of the magnetic field lines, and the deterioration will clearly specifies at what range the crack is, at what depth the crack is, at what length the crack is, and the polarities difference will be observed very much clearly with respect to this magnetic field. This is the magnetic particle inspection method. We'll be having a detailed visualization of process here. So magnetizing of the surface initially, this is the process, and creating the magnetic flux or sprinkling the magnetic particles on it. After that, the inspection is getting done. In the inspection, clearly we will be observing the internal structure or microstructure of the object. Either it may be of the strings or any flaws detected, cracks that has been identified will be clearly identified here. And these are some of the parts that has been prepared. There is nothing but the gears, driving gears and driven gears, lockout of driving gears, which will be utilizing in our automobile parts, bikes, etc. for transmitting the power that has been generated from the crank to the driven wheel, from the driving wheel with the help of a chain linkage. So this is the best. Okay, okay, okay. To the next class to them. This is the best source of identifying the perfect strength in the magnetic particle and any of the voids or cracks that has been occurred. And this is the second way of or magnetizing process of the specimen. So mainly identifying the surface defects. Some surface defects also can be found out, and this can be done. This is limits. This process is limits only to the ferrous kind of metals. Coming to the point of this radiographic technology, passing of the light rays and some of the lens which has been utilized to diffract the light rays and made it fall due to its opaque nature on the inspecting material and observing the overall characteristics of that particular object. So here you have been seen clearly the X-ray generator is generating the X-rays and protons or electrons that are being existing, and the high electrical potential is being created over there, and due to that the reflection is taking, and the entire that electrons are being passed or beams are being passed on the material, and the corresponding pictorial representations or the entire cracks that has been identified will be seen in the form of pictorial representations in the LCD screen or LED screen. It is it can be identified in an wave representation formation also, and it ranges the frequencies from similar to dissimilar range based upon the confinedness or subsequent parameters of the object to be maintained. If there is any deviations, that will be clearly identified in the oscilloscope. Is the film radiographic technique, and some of the radiographic images which are being utilized in our general inspecting processes. This is the equipment that is being utilized in the medical process only to identify the chest scan, or else if there any pediatric or ortho, the X-rays plays a major important role for capturing the slight cracks that has been done at our body parts, that too mainly on our bones. Is the radiographic inspection. Upon inspection is clearly showing the crack that has been taken place due to the high external forces that has been created internally. This isn't what due to the high stresses from the external range, the deformation or strain that has been producing internally. These are the cracks or flaws that has been identified in our X-ray process. This is the process, X-rays and the inspecting zones. Considering this as a specimen, after solidification, internally the voids that are being existing will not be getting identified. Those also can be detected in the case of our X-rays. If we have been consider this object as an the surface area, in the surface area these are the uneven lamellar shapes getting detected as an defects or flaws at an irregular shapes. So upon passing of the light rays, these can be the internal structures in the solidification process having the voids, and up to what range in its length, in its breadth, and at what depth the crack is being existing, that can be clearly identified in our X-ray process. And even in the gamma ray is also one of the radiographic technology utilized to detect the internal flaws. X-ray viewer in our medical fields, it plays a major important role. Coming to the point of this eddy current testings, there's a primary coil and coil of magnetic field generation, and due to that the mutual inductance, the conducting material is being having here, and based upon the primary source of current that has been provided to the magnetic coil, the eddy currents are produced towards this to a particular magnetic range and to a particular potential range. Based upon that, the cracks will be getting identified internally, or improper manufacturing of geometrical according to the geometrical specifications also can be detected. most probably particular cracks will be identified very much clearly. So here we'll be having a detailed look regarding the eddy current testing. Is a testing particularly well suited for detecting surface cracks and electrical conductivity and coating thickness measurements. So coating here specifies that nanoscaled of lamellar conditions. So nanoscale of lamellar conditions here. Even best example, if you can consider our lithographic technique is a major example for it. When you have gone to a restaurant, we'll be identifying our plates, that is fiber plates, and we'll be having a different pictorial representations on that particular plate, and that is nothing but a lithographic technique. The paint or face that has been lamelled on that particular object, and up to how much nanoscaled range of thickness it has been obtained can be examined very much clearly by utilizing this eddy current testing process, or else probe test also can be progressed. So a small surface probe is scanned on it, and the corresponding variations can be detected in the display screen with respect to the frequency variations. Next one, there is an ultrasonic inspection process, pulse echo test. The sound waves are produced, sound waves are given as an input, and the sound waves will be allowed to pass throughout the material. There is a normal transfer from the starting point of the material thickness to the ending point of the material thickness. The deviations will not be taking place, and there will be a common synonym here. And if there is any crack identified, and meanwhile in the, without touching to the next edge, that is from the starting edge to the ending edge, the reflections of the sound waves will be getting done. So how much medium the sound wave has been traveled will be identified here. So that is echo, and to this particular range the echo has been existing. Is a clear cut drawback or echo identification, where when the crack is having internally on the object, and when an air bubbler that has been struck internally to the object will be detected and can be displayed in the oscilloscope. And not only oscilloscope, and it can be connected to the LCD or LED screen. Clearly the internal cracks is also can be verified with respect to the geometrical specifications if you have been connected this to the LCD or LED displays. Coming to the ultrasonic imaging technique, high resolutions and plotting of a single time of flight by the scanner that has been utilized to detect the object internal structures. So initially we have been utilized this diagram, that passing of either of the X-rays or ultrasonic rays on this, and examining the entire properties of the object, that is both internal objects and external parameters also. So high resolution images can be produced by plotting a signal strength at time of flight. Here we have been visualized this grayscale image produced using the sound reflected from the front surface of the coin, and even the bounds of the head can be obtained or observed at the internal stage, that is nothing but the other end of the object, and this is the front part of the object, and other end of the object the impregnation is being has been created. Due to that, the entire pictorial representation is getting visualized over here, and how much pressure that has been utilized over this, based upon that the clarity that has been obtained here, the clarity specifies that here high resolution, that is the main meaning towards it. And one more example is this, the process of ultrasonic testing. So why will we be utilizing this? Next, this uses high pitched sound. The sound waves will not pass through the any of the air gap, and so that it will be getting bounced and picking the receiver signal. And correspondingly, the reading will be observed in the oscilloscope. Simultaneously, when it is being connected with respect to the LCD or LED, the representations will be observed. And this is the device, that is ultrasonic device. This is the transceiver, this is the system or ultrasonic device. This is the system that the sound waves are is being processed on it, the transferring of the signals, and if there is any defect internally happened in the solidification process, that will be getting detected and will be visualized in the our detector. So this is the output, and wherever it is having the perfect casting process, it doesn't have any of the deviations, and wherever the crack has been identified or else the pores has been identified, the crack will clearly initiate its signals. And if there are any multi-level of flaws existing in the object, multi-level deviations based upon the size of the deviations, size of the crack that has been identified, the size of the peaks and valleys will be getting varied in the oscilloscope. Ultrasonic inspection is this one. In the medical field also, it plays a major role indeed to identify the blood circulation, or else is there any cracks identificating at the bone marrow, or else entire the skeleton system also can be identified. Let us consider the process related to it in the case of this ultrasonics. First one is the material that has been captured. You need to identify the object, the sound waves has been produced towards it, and correspondingly the results has been identified. Let's see the process once again. As an ultrasonic and producing the waves, producing the input agitations, and correspondingly observing the response of that particular sound waves, indeed to identify the surface finishings. So this is the one of the crack that has been identified upon inspection, and this is the crack identified in the inspection, and this is the third crack that has been get identified. The deviation also specifies clearly the range of the flaws that has been developed in the surface, and some other inspecting some other situations where we'll be utilizing this NDA techniques. At the forgings, we'll be utilizing at different castings, we'll be utilizing at what range of temperature with the casting process being getting done. That is entire the molten metal at a large range of temperature will be existing, and towards the extrusions to transfer the material from basic source to the die cavities for perfect shape obtaining will be utilizing. And in that particular range also, NDE technology plays a major role. And in the machining process, welding process, machining in the sense turning process, lathe machine working process, step cutting process, milling, drilling, etc., welding, grinding, heat treatment process, plating process will be utilizing the NDE techniques. Cracking, corrosion, erosion, water resistance, heat damage, those and all need to identify those also will be utilizing this. And in the case of this power plants, periodically power plants are shut down for the inspection, because these inspectors, uh, if at all not been done due to the maximum temperature, the vapor at the range of maximum temperature, the plant will be getting operated, and at that particular range of temperature, the material will be getting deteriorated to maximum strengths, maximum variations, and deformations get taken place. Due to the deformations, the resistance capability of the material which has been utilized for the enclosures of power plant will be get destructed. And upon inspection, those faults can be rectified to maximum extent. And mainly we'll be utilizing this eddy current test into heat exchanger tubes to check the corrosion damage. And these are the storage tanks, indeed to identify the maximum crawlers by utilizing the ultrasounding test, and whether how much volume that has been filled out and how much working agitations that are being done will be clearly observing with respect to our sensor cameras. And is there any process deviations that are being observed by these cameras, and the variations in its dimensions, whether it is being thinning or thickening by forming the corrosion, it will be getting thinning and decreasing its mechanical properties, that is decreasing in its strength and stiffness, that will be clearly observed and identified in our NDE techniques. These are some of the examples where the NDE technology is utilized. In the pressure well inspection techniques also it is being utilized, and at the different pipelines, either it may be of the gas pipelines or else the oil pipelines, which will be utilized to transfer from one place to another place to a large extent. These are some of the examples. Thank you. We'll be meeting in the next class, and in-depthly we'll be discussing regarding each and every type of process, and what are the equipment related to the particular process, and what are the major principle existing behind the technique, and what are the process of the technique, and what will be getting observed, and what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and particularly where in the medical field or else in the engineering field will be utilizing this technique, particular technique will be learning very much